coverage of the Hana Financial Group Championship from beautiful Bears Best Golf Club in the city of Cheongna. We're about 30 kilometers west of Seoul, and the temperature this afternoon is pretty much perfect for some ideal scoring. There is a little bit of swirling breeze out on the composite course this afternoon. So glad you could join us for day one here at the Hana Financial Group Championship. Timothy Lowe here, welcoming you to what should be a fantastic week here on the KLPGA Tour. It's the 24th event of what has already been a blockbuster 2022 season, and that's what they're all playing for this week. 1.5 billion Korean won prize purse with 270 million up top for the lady who's hoping to emulate what Song Ga-eun did just 12 months ago, beating Min-ji Lee in a playoff, no less, at Pochon Adonis en route to her Rookie of the Year title. Min-ji's back this week, as is Patty Tavatanakit. She's in the company of Hwang Jung-mi and Sung Yoo-jin. They went off at 10:30 local time. Tavatanakit, the winner of last year's Chevron Championship, en route to winning the LPGA Rookie of the Year title. Then just behind them is Jihan Seol off a win on Jeju Island. Cho Ayan, twice a winner this year. They've got Jung Yoon Ji for company. Lim Hee Jong will tee it up alongside Kim Hyo Ju and last week's runner-up Lee Ye Won. Yoo Hae Ran and Park Ji Young will be teeing it up with the highest-ranked player in the field, number 4, Min-ji Lee. And there's a Min-ji of our own in the final group, Park Min-ji. She's teeing it up with the defending champion and last week's winner, Kim Soo-ji. Should be a cracking day one here from Bears Best. Really looking forward to it. There's been a bit of a delay. Still 4 groups waiting back on the 10th tee. Up ahead at the 11th, clear of the logjam, is Lee Ga-young. Not able to roll that one in. Still 1 under par today, coming off a miscut last week at Serenity Country Club. Still seeking that elusive breakthrough title on the KLPGA Tour is Lee Ga-young. The field, Jaravi Bunchan going along a little bit better than her compatriot Tavatanakit, although that one is going to go racing past the far side. So Bunchan under a little pressure here. 3 birdies in a row coming into this hole. 2 over through 3. She'll have that to turn in level par 36. There is her countrywoman Tavatanakit. Really been a 2022 to remember thus far for 2-year-old. Top 10s recorded. Second shot, it's left rough, ball sitting okay. Shot out to the fat side of the green, give herself a chance for about 30 feet. Playoff 3 weeks ago. Kim Soo-ji at 7 point. Plenty of confidence. Great start. It's 3 points. It's a very golf course. Nice line. It's a fortuitous kick off the downslope of the bunker, just going to release a couple of feet further on, but fairly good look to try to balance the books coming up for the 21-year-old. mentioned there was a bit of a delay back on the tee. This is the group just behind them. Han Sol, Cho Ayan and Cheong Yun Ji. First to the tee box will be the 26-year-old three-time winner, Ji Han Sol. Just outside the top 19, the Rolex Women's Golf Rankings. Turned pro back in 2014 she did, and she's kept a nice clean scorecard today. Just a pair of birdies, no drop shots. Having another very solid year on the KLPGA Tour. Only missed 3 cuts all season long. One of them was a withdrawal at the High One Resorts Ladies Open. Sits 5th on the points list, 7th on the money list with just over 510 million Korean won. Safely tucked away. Cho Ayan, same case there. A couple of birdies, but did drop a shot back at the second to the 2019 KLPGA Tour Rookie of the Year, just at 1 under par. There's the third player in this group, Cheong Yun Ji. Bogey free like Han Sol, but just one birdie coming back at the 5th. She was the opening round leader at the OK Savings Bank Seri Park Invitational last week. It was 5 under after the opening round on Friday. Ended the week at 2 under par, so looking to make amends this week. Now over at 13, Hong Ran. Downhiller for birdie to get into red figures. Well done. Han Sol ready to go. Both of her previous wins, her first 2 wins I should say, on the KLPGA Tour came in 54-hole events. She broke that duck this year with a brilliant victory at the Jeju Samdasu Masters about 2 months ago. Fairly generous target, this 10th fairway. Easy start to the back 9, and that's straight down the pipe for Han Sol. Cho Ayan, tremendously popular player here in South Korea. Did ply a trade on the LPGA Tour for a while before making the move back home. 2 wins this year at Kyochon Honey, and then another at the Hoban about 3 months after. Unmistakable pink golf ball. Just going to get tangled up in some of the rough down the right-hand side, but that's no real problem with a left hole location. Cheong Yun Ji finally broke through for her maiden KLPGA Tour title at the E1 Charity Open. She outdealed defending champion Ji Han Sol down the stretch. That is going to be okay for Yun Ji. 3 players in this group sit inside the top 10 on the money list through 23 events this year. 3 have tasted victory. I'd be hard-pressed to think that at least one, if not all 3, will be in the mix come Sunday. Now, Eugene, downhill left to righter. Is it going to break that much? No, it's not. Incredible bounce back after that really rough start for Sung Yujin. Kim Jae-hee to try to turn in 34. Yeah, nicely done. Great little birdie Always appreciative crowds here on the KLPGA Tour. That's a round of 2 under par 70 to open her campaign this week at the prestigious Hana Financial Group Championship. Lee So-mi. To have a crack here into the 13th. Just level par today for So-mi, 5-time KLPGA Tour winner. Nicely done. We'll have a look from about 8 feet to try to get to 1 under par. Does have a top 5 finish on the LPGA Tour already this season. So-mi, 5th at the Lotte Championship in Hawaii earlier in the year. Hwang Jung-mi, we saw that lovely second shot into the 10th. As you have to do on these tricky little bent greens. Don't take anything for granted. Still, shouldn't be too bothersome this putt. Just keep your line inside the hole. Put a nice positive stroke on it. Well done. So that's going to take her into a share of second, just 1 shot behind Ko Ji-Yoo, the championship leader. Hyo-ju, former major champion, 14 times winner on the KLPGA Tour. Saw a bit of her last week at Serenity Country Club in defense of her OK Savings Bank Seri Park Invitational title, and was battling a lot of discomfort. Had a stiff neck, really couldn't swing the club with any sort of freedom at all, but just finished outside the top 10. Incredible defense of her title. Looks to be fighting fit once again this week, which is always good to see. Popular player when she comes back to tee it up in her homeland. Lim Hee-jung, a terrific rise she's had since turning pro in 2019. Reigning Korean Women's Open champion. Amazingly, didn't win Rookie of the Year despite winning one of the 5 majors that season. The honors in 2019 went to this young lady. Oh yeah, I can see that ball just nestled down right about the top of it. So we'll have to look up to the right of the flag. Stakes coming up short in that trap. Ooh, should have said that louder, Aryan, because that's exactly where she's finished. Maybe it's just hung up on the bank. Still, it's going to be a testy little chip for Cho. Middle of the fairway. It's the KLPGA Tour in driving accuracy. It's right around 80% of her fairways. Absolutely gutted this one on 10, so a good opportunity to attack. It's got a fraction left by the looks of things. It's going to finish about 12 feet right. That's excellent. When you couple good driving with great iron play like Hansol does, leads driving accuracy 5th on the greens and regulation stats, you give yourself a lot of chances. So really no surprise to see her in the mix week in, week out. Yoonji asked to play. Shortest of the 3 approach shots. Like Hansol peppers the pin there. Pair of fine shots for Yoonji and Hansol into the 10th. The scoring has been good so far here on day 1 at the Hana Financial Group Championship at Bears Best Golf Club in Cheongna. Ko Ji-Yoo, just 1 hole left to play despite dropping a shot at 17. Hangs on to a share of the lead with Jung-Yoo Ri, who's just picked up a birdie at the 6th with 3 holes left to go. A gaggle of players at 3 under par, nipping at their heels. 1.5 billion Korean won to play for. This is day one at the Hana Financial Group Championship. Good to have your company this Thursday afternoon. Downhiller for Han Jin-seon to get into that group at 3 under. Oh, it is a very popular number here on Thursday afternoon at Bears Best. Jin-seon now joins the group with that fourth birdie of her opening round. Hwang Jung-mi. No prizes if you guess what score she's at. It's her tee shot at 11. She's playing for position. This 347-meter hole, and is it gonna? No, just gets caught in the rough, and you can see why. Trouble all the way up the right-hand side. 13. Somi to get into red figures. Yeah, center cup, well done. Inside the top 30 now with that birdie to a share of 26th. Back to 10 and Lee-jung set to go. New tournament scoring record en route to her victory at the Korean Women's Open this year at Rainbow Hills. Smashed it, in fact, comfortably broke that mark. She's keen for more. 5 wins in her young career so far. Wins is this young lady going to rack up in her career? Rookie season, Lee year 1, 3 under at the turn. Currently the pole sitter in the Rookie of the Year points race by quite some margin. Pair of wins in the Jump Tour last year, 1 on the Dream Tour. Knocked on the door a couple of times this season. Hyoju has to play. The Rolex Women's World Rankings. Doesn't look to be quite 100%, but certainly not grimacing as much as she was after those swings last week. Something to keep an eye on for Hyoju fans. Is that net going to be a factor in this 72-hole championship this week? Now on the green, Yoonji should just move a fraction to her right. Stand corrected, right in the middle for Jung Yoonji. That's a lovely birdie. Still bogey-free today. Taking steps closer to the pair at the top. Up ahead to 11 and Ga Young. Safely negotiated that tee shot. Kim Ji-hyun, beg your pardon. Oh, fine shot into the par 5 ninth. Line has given up plenty of birdies today. Kim Ji-hyun joined them. That to get to 2 under par. At the moment, 47 players in red figures. Hansel to get to that congested 3 under par mark. just powered it through the break. So, no birdie there for Hansel. Here's co-leaders Ko-Ji-Yu on her final hole of the day. Oh, has that got stuck on the downslope at the back? That'd be a rotten way to finish. Just dropped a shot at the par 5 17th. Well, under pressure. Trying to avoid back-to-back bogeys to end what was otherwise a very solid opening round of golf. We had a KLPGA Tour rookie lift the trophy last year in Songgarten. Ko-Ji-Yu making a good fist of things in the opening round. Next to go on the 10th. Power pack group of current points leader on your left, Yuhei Ran, the 20-year-old. Inside the top 50 in the Rolex women's golf rankings. Park Ji-young in the burgundy, we'll call it. 65th on the Rolex rankings is the 26-year-old and the highest ranked player in the field. ENG Lee, the Aussie, reigning US Women's Open champion, who's 4th on the pecking order, just leapfrogged by Thailand's Ataya Titikun after the ties triumph last week in Arkansas on the LPGA Tour. A couple of runner-up finishers already in 2022. One of them was a finals loss to Hong Jung-min at the Doosan match play, and last week to Kim Soo-ji, the OK Savings Bank at Serenity Golf Club. Long way back into 10, 147 left. As we've seen so many times this year, plots her way around the golf course with great precision. If only she could get that putter to cooperate. Perhaps this is the week. Miles in this rookie season for Ye Won. First cut of rough for Hyoju. Very adept at moving the ball both directions. You think with this whole location, particularly coming out of the left-hand side of this fairway, you want to hit a little trap draw off the edge of the TV tower. She double crossed it. Certainly so. Just nestles down a bit. It's not overly complicated pitch shot. Dazzled us with some brilliant and deft touch around the greens last week. Hyoju, now Hee-jung. Last to go. Bad, nothing really to write home about for the 21-year-old. Outside chance for about 25 feet remaining. Yeah, up to the 9th, and just for a birdie. A bit of left to right in this for Ji-hyun. Right in the middle. Up to a share of 14th for Kim Ji-hyun. Across at what faces the players on this par 4 11th. Jung-mi, ball's just sitting up a fraction in that left rough. Water's not going to come into play. Take a really poor shot to smash it into the soup here. release out there. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. So 3 players share the lead. 4 players, beg your pardon. At 4 under par. Hong Jung-min just picking up a birdie at the 12th. Yu Gina making her 4th in a 5-hole run. He joined the party at 4 under par, but Ko Ji-yu in a spot of bother at her final hole of the day.
들어가면 되죠?
그냥 가면 돼요?
네네.
네, 쳐도 될 것 같아요.
Not often you get a restart after 9 holes, but it does happen here at the Hana Financial Group Championship. ENG just making sure that it's all clear and ready to go. One blemish on her scorecard, coming with that ugly double bogey back at 8. She bounced back nicely with a birdie at 9, and it's one of those things where it's a bit of a momentum killer right now. She's had to wait on this tee for a good half an hour. Picks up right where she left off. Bumps one on the right edge of the fairway. Second event of the 2022 season at the Mediheel Championship, and has been a permanent fixture in the top 5 on the money list since. Remarkably consistent performer throughout her career on the KLPGA Tour. Leads the tour in scoring average this season. Has put in 31 rounds in the 60s, which is some going. Can you consider some of the tracks that we visit throughout the course of the year? Heyran, last to go. Such a simple and soft golf swing, but it's very efficient. We're as high as 16th in the Rolex Women's World Rankings back in 2020. She's continuing to march her way back up into the top 20 with the performances she's put in this season on the KLPGA. Now Hyojin face wide open here, try and slide that club under the ball. No, that's just unlucky. She can't believe it. I mean, it was traveling with some pace, but wouldn't have gone more than 4 or 5 feet past. I did tell you she was good. Let's look at that again. Perfect technique. Just bounce that club under the ball. It's flat at the middle of the flagstick as well. Inexplicably doesn't drop. So only a par for Hyoju. Still seeking that first birdie of the day. Ko Ji-yu. Much depends on the lie here. Everything runs away from her. You can see that spine once it hits the greens. It just has to dump this past the fringe. Sort of hope this sort of nestles down within 6 feet. Gets it within 6 feet, that'd be a brilliant golf shot. Oh no. That's one thing you really can't afford to do, compounding the error. Try to get too cute with it, try to stun it in the fringe, and well, pretty much the same shot required now. Now back to 10 and Hee-jung. Not high enough, not high enough by a long shot for Lin Hee-jung. Still, par's not going to do the scorecard any damage. Hong Jung-min, one of your co-leaders. Shot into the 13th. Pedestrian with just a wedge in hand. Gaya. That's better. That's much better for Lee Ga-young. Can scarcely believe what the reception's going to be when she eventually crosses the line on the KLPGA Tour. Such a popular player in South Korea, as is this young lady, Lee Ye-won, to get to 4 under. Oh yes, Center Cup, clinical 3 at the 10th. That takes Lee Ye-won to 4 under. You see it says tie for second. That's because Junyu Ri's just made back-to-back birdies at 6 and 7 on her back 9. So she now leads at 5 under. Ko Ji-yu, well, was at 5 under through 13 holes, but a bogey at 17 and now her 4th shot to the par 4 18th. Leaking oil a bit coming home. Here's Ji-yu. Steady on, steady on. Yeah, not really the putt you want to leave yourself. That's going to be to drop just 1 shot. But Ji-yu with a chance to post the first round in the 60s. Here on day 1. In Jinhee. The McCall Mona Park Ladies Open 3 months ago. Second shot to the 12th from quite a long ways back. 151 left. That certainly didn't deter her from going straight at the stick. Lovely shot from the 2-time titleist. To 10 and Park Ji-young set to play. Mentioned Ji-han So, prolific with her irons. This is Park Ji-young. She too averages right around 80% of her greens in regulations. Don't expect this to be outside of 15 feet. Takes a little kick off that mound, but not bad. Certainly not up to her high standards, but not bad at all for Park Ji-young. The drop just 1, Ko Ji-yu. All right, it's a hard work 5 bogey finish, but an opening round of 65 leaves Ko Ji-yu squarely in the mix. 3 rounds to play. Hey, run. Taking dead aim at the pin here on 10. Excellent. See, there's a good amount of softness in these greens, which means these ladies can be a little bit more aggressive to try to take it at flag sticks. Obviously, coming out the rough like Hwang Jo-mi on 11, you have to allow for a bit of run out, but an outside chance for a birdie start. Left to right bender, not gonna quite make it. A steady par. Hong Jung-min. To a share of the lead. Not to be. Funnily enough, she was leading the Rookie of the Year race in 2021 before Ga-eun's victory at this very event. Actually finishing second to Song. Come on, Ga-young. Not what you would call a straightforward putt, but it's a good look here. Just inside left edge. Important thing with these left to righters, keep that head steady, no peeking at the hole. Trickles that one in the front edge. And those cheers are going to get louder and louder the further up that leaderboard Lee Ga-young climbs. Down to the 11th tee, plays right alongside the main road that leads you into Bears Best. Ye-won. Up the driver. It's an aggressive play. Up the left. Water up the right. But when you're 19, you don't see the trouble, do you? just clings on to the left edge of the fairway.
이동 좀 멈춰주세요.
플레이하겠습니다. 뒤에 이동 멈춰주세요.
It's fine, you want. No problem. Ijo.
샷.
Two going with the big stick. That one just going to pull up short of the trap. From a similar position, not able to get too much spin out of that last, so she'll have to play a little bit of release with that second shot. Hyoju. I think she'd want to start this just at that trap. It'd be a good starting point for her. Just try to peel her little sort of fairway finding cut back into play. 2013 Rookie of the Year. Crowd like it. She doesn't seem too pleased. Oh, that's why. Just going to stay short of that bunker, but it looks like that's on a slight downhill lie. Hyoju. Expecting big crowds to flock to Bears Best throughout the course of the week. Catch some of the finest on the Korean Tour and around the world over the course of the next couple of days. Choi Min Kyung just through the green at the 9th. A pretty straightforward little bump and run. Not aggressive with it, a little bit racy. So about 6 feet left for a round of 69 for Min Kyung. Across to the 10th tee. Final group of the afternoon. Park Min-ji, leader on the money list. Second straight season she's crossed the 1 billion Korean won earnings mark. Set the record last year with just over 1.53 billion. Of course, helped along by 6 wins. Just the 4 wins this season for Min-ji. Now Im Jin-hee, after that very fine approach into 12, is going to get into red figures with that tidy birdie. So on that slow start at the second, but she's been pretty much perfect since then. Min-ji didn't see that second shot, but just through the back of the green. Haven't seen too many putts from this spot. Just working that one out with her caddy. And I think from the motions they were giving, this one should fall slightly to her left. I don't have this more than a ball outside the right edge. Well, brave effort. Number 4 is going to stay in black figures. She really couldn't have done more than she did 12 months ago at Pocher Adonis. Just ran to a buzzsaw in Songgaeun and that brilliant playoff. I don't think she's going to be complaining too much about her 2022. 2 wins in the LPGA Tour, including the US Women's Open back at 9. Understandable after seeing Choi Min Kyung's chip go racing past. That one just peeling up shy. Back to 10 and Heyra. Seen this putt a couple times. Certainly is the easiest spot to be putting from. Pin high right. too much. It's a good look to get to a tie at 4 under. A lot more than she thought. Having a very solid opening round is a run. Choi Min Kyung, the comebacker for a par and a 69. Yeah, well done.
Nice.
Solid opening round for Choi Min Kyung. Drop shot on the third hole, the 12th of the day. So she'll sit in the clubhouse at 3 under par. Ju for a matching 69. Well, 2 excellent opening rounds from Min Kyung and Yeonju. One half of 33, a nice round of golf indeed. Playing that group, Anji here birdied her final hole, but could only muster a 73, courtesy of a triple bogey 8 at the par 5 17th. Now, Hee-jung, both sitting up okay.
여러분들 선수 플레이 중에 카메라 버튼 누르지 말아주세요.
Just see that carry onto the front third, but like Hwang Jo-mi, it's just going to release on to about 30 feet. This is an unappetizing looking situation for Kim Hyo-ju. Slight downhill line, the ball's below her feet, so it's going to be coming out a little bit flatter trajectory-wise. It's going to have a bit of cut spin on it as well, so she'll have to look out just to that middle of the bunker and land at the same spot that Hee-jung did. That's excellent. That is sensational from Hyo-ju out of that spot, I should say. To leave it underneath the hole, that's brilliantly judged. No problems at all for Ye-won. She could carry it to Hyo-ju's ball. That'd be a good number to land at. Just play for 1 bounce and a bit of release. That's the difference. You find the fairway, you can be a little bit more aggressive. Ye-won with a very good look at birdie. The 11th to come. And the defending champion, Song Ga-eun, missed the cut last week by some margin at Serenity Country Club. She's 1 over par today as she hits her second into the 10th. Gets a nice kick out of the rough. This could go in. Oh, what a shot there. Got lucky with the bounce, but, well, she should get back to even par at the end of the 10th hole. One of those pins that sets up really well for Park Min-ji's patented draw. That tree just to the left of the TV tower. Feed it into the hole from 130. Pair of fine shots into 10 from Min-ji and Ga-eun. Hong Jong-min, the par 3 14th. Had the line, but just half a club short. It's going to take that little ridge to the right. Not bad, though. Not bad at all from 159. The home hole. Just off the edge of the green here. Kim Ji-young 2. Keep going, keep going! Well, puts are starting to fall. That's always good news. That's how you want to end your round. A birdie at the last. Round of 2 under par 70. Well, scoring has been very good so far on day one here at the Hana Financial Group Championship. Junyu Ri sits alone at the top with just 2 holes left to play. A trio of players just a further shot back. Low rounds of the day, 69s from Choi Min Kyung, Ko Ji Yu, and Jung Yun Ju. Jung ready to go on 11. Remember, found the rough off the tee. Pretty much all she could do to get it to this spot. Big left to right swinger for birdie. Up and over a mound. That's certainly not going to be high enough there. But speed was good for Hee Jung. Doing several events here at Bears Best. You know, the best advice is you get it out of position. Yeah, par's not a bad score. Often players run into a lot of problems, you know, trying to bite off more than they can chew. So an okay start to the back nine for Hee Jung. Couple of pars. Stays at 2 under. Minji a hole behind with a chance for a birdie at 10 to get to 3 under par and into the top 5. Positive putt, but it remains above ground with the money list leader. It's a bit of a non-factor 12 months ago, Park Min-ji at this championship. Hyo-ju, after a brilliant second shot from an awkward spot, a really good chance to balance the books. Ooh, robbed at 10 and again at 11 for Kim Hyo-ju. Well, he's a patient plodder. You're going to need that at this championship. Garland, after almost jarring it for 2, this for a birdie. Nicely done for Song Ga-eun. Defending champion back to even par. 7 holes left to play. A1 to get the lead by herself. Ooh, no. Just lacked a little conviction. So she'll stay in a 4-way tie. Yukino with 1 hole left to play. Same for Jun Yu-ri, who's just dropped a shot at 8. That's unless Hong Jung-min pops this one in for a birdie to get to 5. Left to right swing in this. Try to power it through the break, and it's not going to stay up for Hong Jung-min. Non-factor last week at the OK Savings Bank, propped up the pile in a share of 63rd. Just from the left edge of the fairway, ENG Lee. $3 million already collected in this season on the LPGA Tour. Well done. And the hallmark of a good player, just good distance control. Even though they may not be at the flag all the time, usually pin high or thereabouts. Ji-young. That means Ji can pretty much afford to take dead aim here. For it to go, and go it does. So a pair of fine shots, leaving Ji-young and Minji. Birdie looks at 11. Heyran, last to play. Not too much breeze to speak of this afternoon at Bears Best. Pennick said, take dead aim. Take dead aim she does. Well, there's a reason these 3 are in one of the marquee groups this afternoon. 3 fine shots into the 11th. Now, Jung Yoon-ji hole ahead. Second shot to 12. 148 left. We saw Im Jin-hee go flag hunting a little while ago. Jung Yoon-ji is going to do even better. What a shot there from Yoon-ji. Turns 22 at the end of the year. She'd love to celebrate as a multiple-time KLPGA Tour winner. Here is one of your four co-leaders playing her final hole of the day, Yu Gina. That's excellent. That's for a round of 67 for Gina. Been on quite the tear. 4 birdies in her last 5 holes with a chance for a 5th and final. Now here is Im Jin-hee. Hit on 13, short par 4. It's just a little flicky wedge. Yeah, good shot. That putt's going to have a little bit of break from left to right, but crafts herself another good opportunity to take a step closer to the top of the leaderboard. So 4 players share the top spot at 4 under par. Ye-won, Jungmin, Yuri, and Gina. Gina with a great look coming up on her final hole of the day. No more work to be done for the likes of Choi Min Kyung and Ko Ji-yu, sitting pretty in a share of 5th after a pair of opening 69s. ENG. Downhill slider to get to 3 under. Oh dear. Gave that a little bit too much. Yeah, golden opportunity squandered at 12. And she'll head to the short 13th next. Birdie surely on her mind there. Oh, not to be a 67 for Gina. And a lovely bogey-free round of golf to open her campaign here at the Hana Financial Group Championship. Romped home to the clubhouse, an inward half of 32. Yeah, Jin-hee. Least outside left edge here. Ooh, tried to force it in, and force it in she does. That's a nice 3 for Im Jin-hee. Hee-jung back on the 12th. Up to the slightly elevated green. A couple of good ones in. And that's gonna get a nice bit of help from the slope, but settle down. Don't finish up there. Oh, I don't think it's going to come back. That's going to be slippery for Hee-jung. How do you stop this one for Ye-won? At the back of the screen, it's a devilishly difficult putt. How bold does the teenager want to be here? Yeah, good sensible shot to the middle of the green. And that too was going to just release up to the top level. No gimme 2 putt for Ye-won, but a green safely found. Well, off the straight and narrow, somewhere behind those trees is Kim Hyo-ju. Suppose the only consolation is it's a slightly better angle to this pin. It's no walk in the park by any means. Heavy lie as well. Got to get it up and over these trees quickly. Now, it's going to get a little help and keep on releasing, but well, like Ye-won, That's on the wrong shelf of the green, so a couple of tricky putts left for the players in this group at 12. Back at 11, Heyron after that delightful second shot, this to tie the lead. Oh, it lets another one slip by. Yeah, it's often the curse of being a really good ball striker. You think they're far worse putters than they are. They leave themselves so many looks at birdie. And Heyron does tend to struggle with the flat stick on occasion. And all she needed was 2 putts to win the next Sensate 9 Masters this year from about 8 feet and blew the first one 6 feet by. So made the comebacker, but she is prone to the odd little slip with the putter. So it's just going to be the 4 at the top. Gina in the clubhouse with a delightful round of 68. 1 hole left to play in the round of Junyu Ri. Lie Won. Well, tricky 2-putt left at the 12th, and Hong Jung Min. Just 4 holes left to play. Jun Yu Ri playing her final hole of the day. Third shot now into the par 5 ninth. Oh, and not a very good one, with not a lot of club in. This has been a brilliant season for Yuri. Just inside the top 100 on the money list. Top 60 keep their playing rights at the end of the season. That'll be far from the mind of Park Min-ji, the lady who sits at the top of the money list. And after an aggressive tee shot with driver here at 11, this now her second shot. Oh, and it's a good one. It's a real good one from Park Min-ji. Just past the flagstick. 3 all but secured for Park Min-ji now. Lee Won. See that little change in the color of the grass? That's right where that ridge is. So just try to get it to the top of that ridge and let gravity and slope do the rest. Beautifully judged indeed from Lee Won. She's pretty good from long range, but it's those sort of shorter, almost mid-range putts where you feel she lets a couple of chances slide by. Well, that'll keep her in a tie at 4 under. Before she went, it was the turn of Kim Hyo-ju. Very much like A1's putt. Just try to ride that ridge and let it feed down to the hole. Yeah, not bad at all from range still. Yeah. Clean-up job required for Hyo-ju to remain at 1 over par. Only her third start back home in Korea this season. Blew a lead on the back nine at the KLPGA Championship, eventually finishing 4th to Kim Hae-lim. Now Hee-jung pretty much putting straight down the ridge here. Just drifts to the right, but not as much as players think. Easy to overread this one. Oh, just do that. In she goes. Lim Hee-jung with the third birdie of the day. Joins the party at 3 under par. Now, this is the kind of putt that gives weekend golfers second thoughts, nightmares even. Little 4-5 footer that needs to be started outside the left edge of the hole with sort of decent pace. You want to jam it in, take it on the inside. If you miss the hole, you could have the same length putt coming back. Yeah, she's just so solid with that club in hand. Kim Hyo-ju. You don't win 6 majors on the KLPGA Tour without being proficient with a putter. And still, the hunt for a birdie will go on for Hyo-ju. Back at 11, Park Min-ji for her 3 to get to a share of 5th. Oh, no. Well, that's just a mental error there from Min-ji. Really costly. Par's not going to hurt her, but she will be seething, making her way across to the 12th tee. Yeah, Ji-young. Second shot into the 12th. She get it in that little pocket where the hole is cut today. You certainly can. It's another fine iron shot from Park. Check in on Jihan Seoul, who's at the short 13th. Accessible pin location today. Really accessible if you hit a shot like that. Underneath the hole, perfect spot to be putting from for Han Seoul. Now Hayran back at 12. Trying to float to high fade in there. Just overworking it a fraction. It's not going to take the slope, gets stuck in that fringe. Not bad. By no means a straightforward birdie putt facing Hayran at the par 4. Now, E1. Less than driver on 13. There's water that sort of cuts across this fairway. So just playing for position. Yourself a nice full wedge. Looks like she's done just that. Tremendous the way she thinks her way around the golf course at just 19 years of age. Huge. 14 presents a really good scoring opportunity, provided you can find the fairway. Yeah, well, them certainly have done that nicely. Be tight with the great Park Se-ri for the most number of wins on the KLPGA Tour at 14. Already on 11 wins, 10 of them in the last 20 months. Is this lady, Park Min-ji. Driving range just up the right-hand side. That one, ooh, it's gonna get in the bunker. You'd much rather be in the sand there, because that is an awful lie for Min-ji to try to get to a right pin. Certainly going to be a real test of her skills. Up ahead, Hayran with the flag stick out on a downhill putt. Don't often see that. It is for birdie. No. Little left all the way for Hayran. She does lead the KLPGA Tour in the percentage of top 10 finishes, just 70% of the time. She ends the week inside the top 10. It's been a real barometer of her consistency throughout 2022. And she's leading that points list for good reason. Now, Park Ji-young just slipped to 4th in the money list after Kim Soo-ji leapfrogged her last week. From pin high, there should be just a gentle left to righter to get to 2 under par. Don't hear the clink of the bottom of the cup. That one slips by. Still have the final major championship of the 2022 KLPGA Tour season to look forward to next week. And the ladies teed up at the Haidt Jinro Championship at Blue Heron Golf Club. Soo-ji, the defending champion. Park Ji-young, just a little tiddly comebacker for a par. Okay. Yuri at her final hole for a 67. great role not to be for Junyu Ri. Not going to be complaining too much after an opening round of 68. Hansel to convert after that fine wedge shot into 13. Oh no. Just needed an ounce more. That would have held its line. Now 68 for Junyu Ri. Best finish of the season came about 3 weeks ago at the KB Financial Group Star Championship, just outside the top 5. Solo 6 for her that week. She'll sign for 68 to open here at Bears Best. Hyoju. It's more of a visually intimidating second shot, playing over these reeds. It's at the penalty area just short of the green. Hyoju's just got that number in mind. She's aiming just right at the flag here. Work a tight little draw in, perhaps. It was a bit clunky. Not her best by any stretch of the imagination. Hee-jung, so proficient at shots en route to her win at Rainbow Hills earlier in the season. 109 left, a nice full yardage. Try to step on a pitching wedge, get a little bit extra spin with the speed. Oh, that one doesn't take the grab and it runs through the green for Hee-jung. Well, these players aren't really taking advantage of one of the more scoreable holes on the inward 9. A couple of poor shots from Hyoju and Hee-jung. I don't think we're going to see 3 poor shots because Lee Ye-won is just a little flick left into this par 4. Really hoisted that one up in the air. Wow, that's not brilliant. Here's a birdie putt. She would have hoped for better, that's for sure. This is just an awful place to be for Park Min-ji. Standing in the bunker, ball well above her feet, and she's gripping all the way down to the shaft. She just sort of skip this one under the front edge of the green. That'd be a good shot. Yeah, not terrible there. But work cut out to save a par here at 12 for Park Min-ji. Hong Jung-min's just birdied the par 5 15th to move into sole possession of the lead at 5 under par. A quartet of players sit a further shot back. After what can only be described as a clumsy second shot into 13. Hee-jo now from over the back of the green. Not a terribly difficult chip. Got a good break there, catching a piece of the hole. That one was steaming past, and well, she knows it. It looks to be a cast iron 4 secured for the reigning Korean Women's Open champion. Now, Minji. Lots of green to play with here on 12. Let's carry it halfway there. So trundle it out the rest of the way. Oh, keep coming. Keep coming. Oh, and that bump off the pitch mark certainly didn't do that ball any favors. Park under pressure after you thought she was going to get to 3 under back at 11. She could very well find herself only 1 under heading to the 13th. Now, Hong Jung-min, tournament leader, off the green here at 16, and oh my goodness. The full horseshoe for Hong Jung-min. That was to open up a 2-shot cushion. Not to be. Really enjoying her sophomore season on the KLPGA Tour. Jin Seon just birdied 16. This on 17 from the front edge of this par 5. Up the rise and moving to her right. Settle down, settle down. Okay, little tester remaining for Han Jin Seon to remain at 4 under. Resorts Ladies Open earlier this year. Now, Hyo-ju. Outside chance for a birdie at 13. Seen that a couple of times since we came on it. Close, but no cigar for Kim Hyo-ju, who's languishing back at 1 over par, which right now puts her in a share of 56th place. Important putt, momentum-wise for Park Min-ji, is to escape with a par at 12. No, that looked high all the way. And that was really just set up by a poor tee shot for Park Min-ji. Left her with all sorts of problems for that second shot. And that errant drive is going to lead to the first drop shot of this opening round. Min-ji slides back to 1 under. Han Jin Seon for a par at 17. Okay, coming off a miscut last week at the OK Savings Bank. Perhaps the rest has done her good. She's in a share of 2nd right now. Could be a share of 3rd if this one drops in for Lee Ye-won. We've got a line read off Hyo-ju's putt, but that is not going to get there. Well, like I said, it's those mid-range putts where you feel it doesn't quite scare the hole as much as her colleagues on the KLPGA Tour. Well, tidy stuff so far on Thursday. He jumped for her par. Okay, not surprising. One of these 3 players making birdie at the short 13. Par 3, 14th to come. So the group of Ye-won, Hyo-ju, and Hee-jong. 27-hole property. That is Bear's Best in Cheongna, designed by the great Jack Nicklaus, a compilation of his favorite holes from around the world. And Hong Jung-min, well, she's enjoying her time at the top. The 20-year-old leads the way by 1 with just 3 holes left to play in her opening round this Thursday afternoon at the Hana Financial Group Championship. For the first time today, bit of a traffic jam out at Bears Best, so a chance for Ye Won and Kim Hyo-ju to chew the fat, have a little chat. Lee Jong wanting to chill out against one of the sponsors boards here at the Hana Financial Group Championship. While they wait, we drop back to the 13th and Iran looking to dance one round the pin at this par 4. Now that's more like it. Got that one to dig its heels in a little bit quick, but a really good look at birdie upcoming for Yu Hei-ran. Championship coming at the Evian years back. Delightful prospect in the A1 in the years to come. It's not right off Suji just yet. She hasn't had the best of back nine. Started with a drop shot at the 10th with Suji. She's back at even par. Manages to find the fairway at 13, just about. Green, ENG lead. Couple of pars to start the back nine. Like Hyo-ju searching, trying to get away from that 1 over par mark. Has that got the legs? No, it doesn't. That's a good 1.5 foot short for ENG. Well, missed her last 2 cuts on the LPGA Tour, did the Aussie. And took the long flight over to Seoul for this championship. ENG. Back on 13 tee. Okay, fairway found. The park. We've seen a lot of birdies earlier on in our coverage, but it's just gone a little bit flat through the back. Now we'll see if Yu Hei-ran can lift us up and lift herself into a share of second at 4 under par. And you don't see too much break in this. Don't give the hole away. If anything, just maybe inside edge. Nice and firm. Certainly doesn't have to worry about going downhill or anything. It's a fairly flat putt. And the season-ending SK Telecom Championship and the KLPGA Tour at the end of 2021. Wasted no time getting off the mark in 2022 at Gimhae Gaya. just careless, that from Big Yuhei Ran. So yet another par. 3 under through 5, and a par since. Now green's clear at 14, so this group now ready to go. I've seen before, carried at least pin high on this hole. Landed short on line as that bunker shoulder that kicks everything away to the right. Now carries it over the bunker shoulder. Well done. That's an excellent tee shot from Lim Hee Jung. ENG. Gotta be careful with this one. Don't let that concentration slip. Yeah, well done. Why don't we have a look at the par 3 14th hole here at Bears Best. The composite course at Bears Best, a mix between the USA and the Australasia Nines. This 27-hole layout. It's 159-meter par 3. A couple of bunkers, one small one at the back and a rather large one front left. You see that shoulder of the bunker I was talking about, the left-hand side of your screen? Pins cut just behind that. So really important to get your full yardage right here. Leave yourself a putt from just past the pin. Probably give you the best look for a birdie too. Hyoji. She's staring this one down. Ooh, just takes a kick off that slope. Releases through the green and into the second cut of rough. Kind of day, really. Yeah, Minji. Spinning her wheels a bit on this back nine. Trying to peel a little fade into this pin. Release out. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. See if she can get back amongst the birdies at the 13th. Just gone 1:30 local time here in South Korea. Joining us for opening round action, the Hana Financial Group Championship. A title that this lady bagged 12 months ago for arguably her biggest win in her young career en route to Rookie of the Year honours. She was deadly with this club in hand at Pochen Adonis. The playoff against Minji Lee. But not the case here on Thursday for Song Ga-eun. Like Lim Hee Jung, just through the back of the green. Suji. There is one thing I've noticed about Suji. She does tend to go at everything at 110%. There does seem to be a sawed-off sort of floaty shot in her arsenal. Try to abbreviate the follow-through there. But when you have lots of speed, you create lots of spins. That stays underneath the hole. Good chance to get back into red figures for Suji. Adventurous route was employed into the 14th hole by Lie Won. We could pretty much call that a shank off the tee, because I don't think the ladies would have had a look at that bit of native area during their practice rounds earlier this week. It's a sticky situation that the 19-year-old finds herself in. Close to that tree, and I mean, with the length of that sort of tall native wispy grass, just be careful you don't have a tree root sort of jammed up against your ball here. You're going to get no spin out of this, so just try to land it on the front edge of the green, maybe even short. It's going to come out like a knuckleball with lots of topspin. So that was a very solid opening round. Just coming unstuck a little bit at this par 3 for Lee Won. I feel she's going to drop out of that share of second in just a couple of minutes' time. So while she sizes up her third shot at the 14th, we'll go back to the 13th and Song Ga-eun. She's got the putter out from a good 3-4 feet off the edge of the green. This course is in immaculate condition, but you really feel there's not much trouble around these surrounds at 13. Just thinking about holding it, you're almost better off with maybe just a straight face gap wedge or a pitching wedge, because she's coming up a little rise. A very gentle slope at that, right where she was walking about 3 steps ago. There's that old adage in golf, if you're trying to get it close, putt it. If you're trying to make it, chip it. So perhaps just a peek into the mindset of Ga-eun right now. Remember, missed the cut last week by some margin at the OK Savings Bank Seri Park Invitational. She's looking a long way out to the right here. Just got tangled up a little bit, you feel, coming up that slope and through a bit of fringe grass. Killed the speed. Already has won this season, Ga-eun, at the Daibo House D Open. Now Hyoju from the back of 14. Yeah, delicately played. Great technique there on the back of the stars. Just pick that club up quickly, drop that leading edge onto the back of the ball, pop it out of that rough, let it release out. He's got all the shots, does Kim Hyo-ju. Minji for a birdie back at 13. Saw this putt earlier from Yoo Hae-ran. If this isn't hit with conviction, very easy for it to peel off low. Bit of a wipe with the butter face there, hung it well open. It's got to be spinning a bit for the manualist leader Park Min-ji. Running the bar for her inward half. 1 under for the day. Now, third shot for Ye Won to hit at 14. Still no straightforward up and down. It's got that little spine to contend with. That was a touch heavy-handed. So under pressure to only drop 1 here at the 14th for Lee Ye-won. Yeah, check in with Lee Ka-young up ahead at the penultimate hole. Third shot in. Going about very nicely today at 2 under par. Is that going to make it up the rise? Yes, it will. Watch this one feed. Watch this one feed. That's very good from Lee Ka-young. All the close calls she's had in her career. Ka-young, 8 times a runner-up on the KLPGA Tour. Jung-min playing alongside Ga-young, the tournament leader. It's important to just make sure you carry it past that little rise. Anything short is going to feed back down to the front of the green. Okay, on the top level, with a good look at birdie, uphill putt remaining for Hong Jung-min. 6 birdies already today. Just a 1 drop shot at the 8th. The tournament lead by 1. Back to 14 and Hee-jung at this to get to 4 under and within 1. Stay up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's unlucky. Did everything but go in that putt for Hee Jong. But anyone who's played this game enough is going to tell you the exact same thing. All you can do is hit the best shot you can. They don't always drop. Now, An Sun-ju. First look at her today. Hopefully, the final shot of her day. Not to be a birdie at the 18th. But a simple tap in for a par. Maybe good enough for a bogey-free 69. Year 1 for a bogey at 14. Okay, limits the damage to 1. That's a good putt. First drop shot of the afternoon for Lee A1. Hyo-ju. Nothing in this, pretty much dead straight. Okay, safely in. It's been a rather uninspired start for Kim Hyo-ju this week at Bears Best. Hee Jong just to tidy things up, keep that scorecard clean for this opening round. Well done. Had a chance to slip away. Bit unlucky, you have to say. Out to the 18th. Long run for a par. Goodness me, this is a lengthy one. And it's not going to drop. So a bogey finish is going to leave Hong Ran in the clubhouse at level par after a 72. Much like Ko Ji-yu, really frustrating finish for Hong Ran. In the company of Kim Hae-rim and An Sun-ju, 72 for Hae-rim and a 69 for An Sun-ju. There in the red trousers. Outside the top 60 on the money list. Hansel inside the top 10 on the money list. Third shot into the 15th. Grab. Okay. Decent look at a birdie to come for Ji Hansel, who's just dropped a shot back at the 14th. Way back on the unsaid par 3. Yu Hei Run. Played shot. 3 excellent tee shots from Hae-ran, Ji-young and Min-ji. 3 birdie putts to come. 3 players starting their back nines with 4 straight pars. But this to double her advantage at the top. Hong Jung-min uphill right to lefter for a birdie at 17. In she goes. And Hong Jung-mi suddenly has a 2-shot cushion at the top of the leaderboard. A 7th birdie of the day. Just 1 hole left to play for the Doosan match play champion. Putting from the opposite side, Lee Ga-young. Slightly downhill. Should stay fairly straight. Yeah, well done. Good birdie for Ga-young. And the crowd certainly behind her. First time she's birdied a par 5 today. Now back down on the tee. Hee Jong. Longest par 5 on the golf course. fine running down the straight and narrow for Lim Hee-jung. Hyo-joo. A little bit right. That finish would certainly dictate that. Well, right edge of the fairway, how about it? Kim Hyo-joo. That's when you know you're a good player. Even your bad ones find the fairway. How does the 19-year-old respond to that sort of bogey from the middle of nowhere on the previous hole? 560 million won banked in her rookie season. Nothing to sniff at all. Never easy playing into the slowly setting sun. It feels like you're going to be blinded on your follow through, but 3 tee shots safely in play at the par 5, 15th for the group of Lee Ae-won, Lim Hee-jung and Kim Hyo-joo. Let's check in on Park Ji-young, who's first to putt in this group back at the 14th. It's for a birdie. And that one isn't going to spin out. In you go. Park Ji-young now to 2 under par. Second birdie of the day. But such has been the torrid pace of scoring here at Bears Best. Not even good enough to get inside the top 15. Still, she'll take it. So finally, a birdie on the back 9 for this group. We'll see if Minji Lee can make it 2 for 2. Pretty much identical line to the one just holed by Park Ji-young. Starts to move left in the last 6 to 8 feet of this putt. Certainly for a right-hander, you love having a putt that moves to the left. 45 rounds under par so far this year on the LPGA Tour. Second in scoring average at 69.33 for the season. She needs to give the hole a scare if she wants to record another round in red figures, because that is not her best. Yet another par for Minji. To the wrong side of par. Now Hansel ahead at 15 after that very fine shot to get to 2 under. Now good acceleration. In you go. Nice birdie 4 for Ji Hansel. Recovers that shot she dropped at 14. Hyo-joo back down the fairway, lay it up here, try and leave herself a full distance in, try to get close to that front pin. Okay, in play. Iran back at 14. Surely one of these has got to drop. No. Well, it's going to start to build that frustration. And Iran, she's had so many good looks on this back 9 so far, and nothing to show for it. Hee-jung out with a 3-wood, so she's trying to get it as close to this green as possible. There is a little creek that sort of bisects the fairway. Certainly carried over that. Hope for a little bit of run. Ooh, just about. And that's excellent now for Lim Hee-jung. Took a gamble with that second shot. See if it pays off for the 21-year-old five-time titleist. 3-wood as well for Lee Ye-won. And not gonna find the fairway, but sitting up nicely in the first cut of rough. Opens up the angle to the front right pin. Just about as good as being in the fairway, really. Suji back on 14T, final group of this afternoon's coverage. Set to play their tee shots into this par 3. Min-ji unable to convert after a delightful shot into 13, so she's still even par. Just going to take the wrong side of that ridge, but it's fine for Suji. No one knows better than her, though. So these big championships, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You don't want to start pressing too hard. Start making some unforced errors. Still 1 under. Oh, and that is an unforced error. Front bunker, not where you want to be on the par 3 14th. ENG struggling on this back 9 Thursday. Went out in 34, but already a bogey on the card and under pressure to try to avoid a second drop shot of the afternoon as we slip across to the 15th and the tee shot of Yoo Hae Run. Han Jin-seon at the closing hole. Trying to get in with a 67. Second shot to here. Just slams it through the break. Does Han Jin-seon. Should she pop that one in, she'll match the opening round of Junyu Ri, 68. Certainly would have taken that if you gave it to her at the start of the day. Playing alongside her. Jang Soo-yeon for a round of 69. No. 18's proved tricky. Seen a lot of shots dropped at this closing par 4 so far today. It's going to be a first bogey on the scorecard for Jang Soo-yeon, who won the season opener on Jeju Island. A 70 to start her week at this year's Hana Financial Group Championship. Yeah, well holed. That's the third 68 posted today. Jin-seon joins Yu Gina and Junyu Ri in the house. 4 under. Yeah, Min-ji, tough shot this. She's on an upslope, so that does simplify things slightly. But the fact that that ball is plugged did not do her any favors. And all of a sudden, Min-ji is starting to slide down that leaderboard on this demanding inward half. Hyo-ju laid up short of the creek, so she's first to go into 15. Front right pin should set up nicely for a little fade. just a club short for Hyoju, but that's sitting up nicely, and it's a pretty makeable chip. Certainly with her short game prowess. You've just seen over the last half an hour that wind starting to pick up and swirl around Bear's Best. So it's going to give these ladies something to think about as they make their way towards the clubhouse. Perhaps a gust just catching out Hyoju there at the 15th. From the far side of the creek, shorter shot in for Lee Ye-won. Great view from behind the 19-year-old at what she faces. And I should be okay. Don't think the secondary cutter rough's going to impede the contact with the ball too much. Just erring on the side of caution, throwing it well past the pin. Well, not brilliant, but safely on the dance floor. That collar of rough just sort of in the back of her mind. Perfect lie for Hee-jung. Middle of the fairway, should get a lot of spin on this one, so she can go flag hunting here. Just like that. Brilliant from Hee-jung. Back at 14, the struggling Park Min-ji for a par. Goes left to right pretty hard, then just goes downhill at the end. Don't want to let this get away from you. All the way. That's going to be a second drop shot of the back nine for Park Min-ji. It's one that will take her out of red digits back to even par. No way to take a stance and tap that one in, so she'll put a spot on it as we go up to Yoo Hae-ran, looking to do what Hee-jung and Ye-won did, try and carry it past the split in the fairway. An efficient, simple looking golf swing. Yeah, that's perfect for Yoo Hae-ran up the 15th. Yeah, Suji. It's a good tee shot. Bit unlucky that one. Just pitched on the top of that mound and kicked a little right, but a decent look at birdie for last week's winner. Min-ji's putt. It should just sort of fall off to the right the last couple of feet. Through the break for Suji. To cheer about in this final group. Gartland even par, Suji even par, Min-ji about to drop back to even par. Certainly a lot more was expected from these three players in the opening day. Still, as I said earlier, it's a long road to Sunday afternoon. There's plenty of opportunities for these girls. Hyoju playing off the front of the stance this time, but still hands ahead of the ball. Get a bit of shaft lean, chop down on the back of it. Gave it a good run, but she's got that awkward little 6-foot comebacker now for par. A slog for Hyoju this opening round. No birdies on the card. One over par with a putt to stay on that mark. Ye-won. Pretty lengthy birdie putt here, swinging pretty hard from left to right. Slightly down the hill. beat control over the long putts has been very good this afternoon for year one. ENG is going to drop back to even par. If you're wondering about some of the other big names in the field, well, Paddy Tavatanakit, unfortunately, the Thai star, former major champions, just dropped another shot. So Tavatanakit now back at 2 over par alongside playing partner Sung Yu Jin. Hee Jong with this left-to-righter for a birdie. No, no, no. Well, that certainly lacks some conviction from Hee Jong after that really good wedge shot. Unable to convert on this par 5. So stays at 3 under, 3 back of Hong Jung Min's target. Jung Min currently playing the demanding par 4 18th finishing hole. Hyuju to stay at 1 over par. Yeah. Calmly deposited in the bottom of the cup for the world number 9. Okay, solid 2-putt, just about, for Lee Ye-won. Manages a wry smile, 3 under, 3 holes to play. And it's Hong Jung Min in her second season on the KLPGA Tour, who enjoys a 2-shot cushion at 6 under par over a trio of players who have already completed their rounds. 68s for Gina, Jinseon, and Yuri here in the opening round at Bears Best. Third shot now for Park Ji-young at the par 5 15th. Going over the creek in 2, so she's thinking 4 here. Throw it past the flag, get a little spin. Oh, yes she can. Yes, she can indeed. He pulled the string on that one, Park Ji-young. A couple of yards closer, but still should get a bit of action on this ball. Try to drive one in low, one hop and stop. Excellent. Two very different ways to play that shot. Both played to perfection from Ji-young and Hei-ran. Hwang Jong-mi. The other par 5 on this inward half, the 17th. She's going to get it up on top of that rise. That's a stunner. From the KGE Daily Ladies Open champion. Let's have a look at the closing par 3 on Bears Best. 165-meter 16th today. The pin cut in that easier section on the lower right portion of the green, 11 from the front and just 8 from the right. It does offer some birdie opportunities. If you do miss the green, short right, not a terrible spot to be chipping from. Pitching uphill. The one place you don't really want to be is long left, although it'll take a pretty poor shot to leave yourself in that nasty bunker at the back of the green. Water really shouldn't be coming into play for these ladies. First to go. He's just off the right for the Korean Women's Open champion. Just going to release on towards the middle of the green. Not bad. Not exactly in birdie range for Lim Hee-jung. Look at the 15th Park Min-ji looking to get over that little creek. That one came out low. Has it got the height to clear the reeds? Okay, she'll get away with it, but that ball just nestles down into that thick Bermuda. It's going to make distance control with her third shot all that more challenging. Back to 16 and Hyoju. One of those times where it's a real advantage to be comfortable hitting fades, try and work it towards the pin. Start at the fat. Just try and peel a little cut towards this front right hole location. So it looked like a much softer swing, trying to baby it in there. Yes, very nice shot from Hyoju, but still, when you're coming in with a slightly slower swing, per se, speed creates that spin. Tavatanik certainly has lots of speed. She's 2 over par. Third shot to 17. Trying to carry it on the top. One hop and stop it. Oh, go in. Why don't you? Patty Tavatanik. How does that stay out for the tie? My word. I don't think she realizes that grabbed a piece of the hole. That should be a guaranteed 4 to take her back to 1 over. Now, Ye-won. Cold shank on the other par 3 on this night. That looked to be a much better swing, and it's a much better result. But like Hee-jung, that one just going to release on to the middle of the green. So 3 safely aboard this par 3 16th. Hee-jung and Ye-won both at 3 under. Yeoju and the quest for a birdie this Thursday afternoon continue. Now Ji-young back at 15 to try to join the group at 3 under. Oh, how many lip outs have we seen today from short range, from the fairway? And that's a real golden chance gone for Park Ji-young, who'll stay at -2. Victor over Kim Soo-ji in that playoff at Sunning Point. It's one to drop at 17, so she'll move to 3 under par, within 3 of Hong Jong-min's target. Now, Heyran, surely this, not easy putting through a shadow. Yes, finally one drops for you, Heyran. About time she got to 4 under par. She's been knocking on the door for some time, and that'll get her into a share of 2nd place. Tavatanaket with just a formality to get back to 1 over par. Yeah, nicely done for Patty T. Talked a lot about her struggles with her game and her mental state. 76-66 to make the cut on the mark at the Scottish Women's Open. She's missed 7 of her last 8 cuts, though. Golf's not easy, even for the best of them, so take heart, weekend golfers. Hong Jong-min's made it look pretty easy today. Championship leader, 2nd shot to the tough 18th. So Han Jin-seon hit an absolute beauty into this hole. Oh, Hong Jong-min, pretty much an identical shot in. That's going to be for a round of 65. And the match play champion, who's had all the answers to Bear's best here in the opening round. Now Hee-jung at 16. First to go. Downhiller moving to her left. It's going to come back that much. It's going to try. It's going to try. Good weight on that one from Hee-jung. Right now, share of 6th place, even par, a share of 43rd, and much depends on the live, but it certainly didn't look good from our previous camera angle for Park Min-ji. It just nestles down a fraction, which it looks like it has. This is going to come out with not too much spin on it, almost like a knuckleball. So to get it close, you'll have to land this short of the green and hope for a friendly kick. Try and take it up in the air and stop it with trajectory. Oh, that's unlucky. Just pitched in that sort of re-sodded area. And it's fine. Ye-won on 16. Still wants to move a little left, but not as much as Hee-jung's. Pretty much putting straight down the hill or the fall line of this green. Bit of a tug there from Ye-won, but pars aren't bad. Raced out of the gates today with 3 birdies in her first 4. Pretty quiet since. Now Soo-ji out of a much worse lie, but this is when you don't mind her having more speed at the bottom. Really got to gouge that one out. Abbreviated follow through. And a very fine shot from Kim Soo-ji. That's something special out of that line. Never a bad time to make your first birdie of the day. that hole had other ideas. Great effort from Hyoju. That's been the story of her day so far, unfortunately. Can't seem to make anything happen, the world number 9. This would be a special opening round of golf for a 65. Hong Jung-min. Low all the way. Yeah. She won that one back. Well, it really wasn't her best effort. You'd be hard-pressed to find a player in this 108 lady field that'd be disappointed with an opening round of 66. Well, Hong Jung-min sets the pace on day 1 here at the Hana Financial Group Championship. A delightful round of 6 under par leaves her 2 clear at the moment, chasing a second win of the season. You want to clean up? Yeah, safely in. Back to 18 and Lee Guy-young for a bogey-free round of 69. Yeah, creeps that in the left edge. Not bogey-free, beg your pardon. She's made 2 of them. But a 69 to open for Lee Guy-young. 3 back of her playing partner, Hong Jung-min. But she's all smiles as she heads into the beautiful clubhouse here at Bears Best. We'll see if that first birdie of the back 9 can spark Yuhei Ran into life over this closing 3-hole stretch. She can really launch this ball up into the air, and that's a huge advantage as these greens start to bake out a little bit later in the day. They were quite soft this morning and through the early part of the afternoon, but you just see they're starting to firm up a little bit, particularly this one at 16. Looks like a little sawed-off 5-iron. And, well, popular spot on this par 3. That's fine for Heiran. Pierre back down. Par 5 17th, back to the tee box. Real brute of a hole. No one's going to get home in 2 in this 554-yard beast. Just through the right edge of the fairway. Shouldn't be a problem. It's all about the second shot here. Leave it handy, particularly with the pin position today, just at the top of that swale. Just under 1 billion won. And in 2021 for Lim Hee-jung, second only to Park Min-ji's record-setting year. Somebody liked it, the crowd. That'd be fine for Hyoju. Yep, yes, indeed it is. Lots to go. I love this golf swing, much like Lim Hee-jung's. It's just the quintessential modern golf swing. Big shoulder turn. Drives really hard off the ground, creates lots of speed for a tiny lady. She doesn't need to watch that one. She knows where that's headed. Beautifully done by Lee Ye-won. The par 5 17th. The closing stages of play. This opening round at the 4th Hana Financial Group Championship Hana won the inaugural edition, then it was the turn of Anna Rin, Song Ga-eun last season. Who's it going to be this year, 2022? Park Min-ji putting from front edge of the green, not difficult. Up the hill, just needed to hit it. Ooh, there's going to be some steam coming out of the ears of Park Min-ji. If she doesn't find at least a birdie or two over the closing 3 holes. Certainly would have expected a lot better after going out and bogey-free 34. Looks to be a couple of birdie looks for Min-ji, Lee, Park Ji-young and Yoo Hae-ran. Should be Hae-ran first to go. You know what this putt does? It sort of gently moves downhill and kind of wants to just wander to the left at the end. It's one of these awkward ones from 30 feet where you almost want to see more break than there actually is. We saw Lim Hee-jung's putt in the group ahead. It did move right to left, but certainly not as much as Hee-jung was expecting. So I figure this isn't more than a cut outside the right edge, perhaps. Even though it's slightly downhill, it's one that Hae-ran can afford to be a little bit aggressive with. Misread there, started at left of the cup and it stayed there. Again, as we've mentioned before, par on 16, not a bad score. Suji after that brilliant shot out of the salad bar on the left of 15. This for a birdie. No. Just started that too far outside the right edge, and well, that's a real shame. That third shot deserved better. She stays even. Now, Im Jin-hee from the front edge of the closing hole. Tufty line the rough, and kicking away to her right. Yeah, well judged by Im Jin-hee. Brilliant back nine tussle en route to a victory at the McCall Mona Park Ladies Open. The line looked okay. Should get a bit of run this ball. Here it comes. So back in position as the Korean Women's Open champion. Trying to leave herself a nice yardage for that third shot. Operating out of the short grass. Good to see relatively pain-free this afternoon. Hyo-joo mentioned at the start of the show struggled with discomfort in her neck and upper back last week on the KLPGA Tour. Now Ye-won last to go with these layups on the 17th. Great birdie on the final hole Sunday afternoon to nick second spot all by herself out of a tie with Yoo Hae-ran. to build that lead at the top of the Rookie of the Year points race. Im Jin-hee for a round of 2 under par 70. Yeah, nice up and down from Im Jin-hee. Great bounce back after that awful double bogey at the second hole. Inward half of 34. She'll sit inside the top 20 after the opening day's play here at Bears Best. 2 under par was the mark that we saw Park Min-ji at the start of our coverage as she made the turn. She's fallen all the way back to even par after a pair of rather sloppy bogeys, you have to say. Certainly for a player of Min-ji's caliber, no one's been more successful on the KLPJ Tour over the last 20 months. And Park Min-ji, 10 titles in what has been a historic run. At 17, Hee Jong outdueled Min-ji en route to the Korean Women's Open at Rainbow Hills. And is that going to get up to the top? It's going to try stay up there. Ooh, just away with one there, Hee Jong. A foot to the left, or a little bit shorter in that one. It falls back to the front edge of the green. We want laid it up perfectly here. And it's essential she gets this all the way up to the correct level. And that is what she will do. That's a stunner from Yewon. Should be a 6 iron for Park. That's wide right for Park Min-ji. So just come a little bit unstuck on the inward half for Park. Now Hwang Jung-mi on the closing hole. Very solid opening round. 3 under par. Ooh, with a chance to get to 4. That landed really softly, and it's given her a really good look to join the 68 club in the clubhouse. Yeah, Patty T. Tee shot for Tavatanakit. Oh, and another stellar iron shot go in. It does for Patty T. How about that? From 1 over to 1 under par, a walk-off eagle 2 at the last, and a round of 71 for Patty Tavatanakit. That's the way you finish off a round of golf. Birdie, eagle. It is in the hole, Patty, and it is an eagle 2. Calm down after that. Gatland. 1 over par now. Ooh. Don't think that's going to be for long. That's a sparkling tee shot from Song. So, it's all got very exciting over the last 15 minutes, but it's not going to bother Hong Jung-min. A 6 under par round of 66 for the 20-year-old leaves her 2 clear of the chasing pack at 4 under par, most recently joined by Thailand's Jaravi Bunchan. But without a doubt, the shot of the day, Patty Tavatanakit, a walk-off eagle 2 at the 18th for a round of 71. Nicely played from Park Min-ji on the 16th. Feel that should be good enough for a par 3 to keep her at level. It's just been a little bit uninspiring in this final group of the day. Not a single player under par. In she goes. Suji and Minji both even for their rounds, and well, Patty Tavatanik, just before we left you, a brilliant hole-out eagle 2 to end her round. A lovely birdie at 17. I mean, realistically, she could have gone eagle-eagle, almost holed out her third shot at the par 5 17th, but in it went at the 18th, and she'll scribble her name next to a 71. Suji, it's just a couple of moments ago for her birdie at the 16th. Oh, she had the walk and the fist bump. Man, the edges on these holes are unforgiving at Bear's best. Only a par. Look at this. She had the walk, she had the fist pump going. And it's just the thigh slap of frustration at the end for Suji. Hyoju bunkered at 17. Fourth shot now. Not easy this. Up and over the little plateau. Judged beautifully by Kim Hyoju. Still work to be done though. Garten. For a birdie after that brilliant tee shot. Oh no! Well, it's really summed up the day of this back group, hasn't it? Goodbye, a birdie. Songarten on this back nine. Did start with one on the 10th, but well, it's been a bit cheerless since. We're going a bit better in match 31. Lim Hee-jung for her birdie to get to 4 under. In you go, Hee-jung. That's the 4th birdie of the day. And she's quietly putting together a very solid opening round with the 18th hole to play. So that's 1 birdie on the 17th. Here one still with a chance to come. Heading back down the fairway is Yuhei Ran. Started a fraction right. Is it coming back enough? Ooh, yes, it is. So, Yewon to match the birdie of Lim Hee-jung and to move alongside her in a share of 2nd. Oh, that's a quality 4. Not going to get away this time for Lee Ye-won. And now with that birdie, there are 8 players tied for 2nd place at 4 under par. Talk about congested at the top of the leaderboard. Oh, no gimme this one for Hyoju. Got to keep your concentration here. A little bit of movement to the left. Oh, no. Just running out of steam, and second drop shot of the day now slips her to 2 over. She finds herself 8 shots behind Hong Jung-min, one of the pre-tournament favorites, struggling this opening round at Bear's best. 27-hole property designed by the great Golden Bear himself, Jack Nicklaus. A compilation of his favorite holes, taking inspiration from his favorite holes around the world. Europe, Australasian USA nines. It's a composite layout that we're on this week for the Hana Financial Group Championship. Well, I mentioned there were 8 players tied at 4 under. Well, there could be 9 if this one drops for Hwang Jung-mi. We took a wobble about a foot off the butter face, and I think that's cost her a birdie. Don't often see blemishes on these greens at Bears Best. It's in immaculate condition, but late in the day, a couple of spike marks perhaps still. Around a 69 to open for Hwang Jung-mi. Barely good enough to keep her inside the top 10. Check back in with Min-ji Lee, third shot to the 17th. Back at 2 over. After a bogey at the par 3 16th, but she should be able to get it back. That's nicely played by the Aussie. Now, the 2 women inside the top 10 in the world rankings coming into this week, Min-ji and Hyo-ju, both over par for their opening rounds, and 2 over par at that. Hana. I've seen a couple of players elect to flatten out the ball flight a bit, land it just short of that rise and sort of run it up like Min-ji did earlier on. Earlier on the day, there were a lot of players flying it to the top shelf. Those greens just getting a little bit firmer. Oh, Hana going with the morning play, carries it up to the top level with great accuracy. Fantastic shot from Hana. Good chance to break out of that tie at 4 under. Now, at the home hole, Lim Hee-jung. Important to find this fairway with the pin in the front. It's a fairway she finds. A1. Just watch how aggressively that left hip of hers clears to start the transition into her downswing. Such a hallmark of long hitters, good ball strikers. Importance of that sequence starting the downswing. Absolutely pivotal. Min-ji back on the penultimate hole. As play starts to wind down here in this opening round, Hwang Jung-min's 66 still untouched, but it's a whole gaggle of players that sit just 2 shots back. Second shot to the closing hole for Lee Ye-won. It's a hybrid in hand. Is that leaking just a fraction right? Oh, no, it's not. Dead on line for Lee Ye-won. Now back at the 17th, Park Ji-young for a third birdie of the afternoon. Oh, no. Well, if there wasn't any doubt that the edges on these holes are a little bit sharp, that's case in point right there. I mean, that was going in with perfect speed and still didn't drop. Forget game of inches, it's a game of millimeters sometimes. Hee-jung, also hybrid in hand. And he does make the modern game so much easier to get the ball up in the air. Hoist it up. Lands like a butterfly with sore feet. Well, two excellent shots from long range from Ye-won and Hee-jung into this closing par 4. They can't quite see it. This 18th green does sit a little bit above the level of the fairway and playing into the setting sun. Not much fun. Just get to about 5 o'clock local time here in South Korea. Hyoju, been a frustrating afternoon for her. Still, 18 holes to play tomorrow in much more benign conditions. Look for her to make a move on day 2. Ooh, that is not pleasant there. We saw Ko Ji-yu in that bunker about 2.5 hours ago. That's really going to test all of her short game skills. Back down to 17, and Park Min-ji laying up with her second. Laying it up to the left half of the fairway. Min-ji Lee up ahead on the green for a birdie to claw one back. Well, not much left to be said. That was just a poor putt for Min-ji. Like Hyoju, really struggling this opening round. Just the demanding par 4 18th to play for the world number 4. Well, Heyran hit a delightful third shot into this par 5. And she's going to break out of the group at 4 under, moves into second by herself, just one behind Hong Jung-min. And that scorecard makes for pretty reading. Not a drop shot on Thursday for Yoo Hae-ran. So, Hae-ran now moves one clear of the group at 4 under and within one of Hong Jung-min's clubhouse target of 66. A couple of players still could perhaps pit Hong Jung-min, or join her on that mark, I should say. Jaravi Bunchat finishing on the slightly easier side of the golf course, the par 5 9th still to play. Ko Ji-yu, well, had it to 5 under before a couple of late bogeys at 17 and 18. Left her done and dusted with a 3 under par opening round of 69. Now, Park Min-ji to play into this 17th, and well, I suspect we might see a slightly flatter trajectory here, try and skip it up the slope. Didn't quite get the full yardage there. You saw just killed it in the rough, and now she's got a slow putt up that little rise. To the lady in solo second right now. Yoo Hae-ran on the home hole. aggressive pass at that. Just a little unlucky that one pitched as soft as it did. Certainly feel like she's played a lot better than her 2 under par score indicates. Just cruising down my scoring terminal. Update you with some of the international stars that have teed it up this week. Couple of invites. The amateur from Singapore, Shannon Tan, signing for a round of 76. Patricia Sinalungan from Indonesia, a round of 77 for her. And that is about as good as Kim Hyo-joo could do out of the back bunker at 18, but that is going to be for a round of 74. Minji, really slow putt up the rise here at the 17th. From her left to right. Yeah, took a little wobble. Certainly had the line. Kiwi Momoka Kobori. Birdieless round of 80. For the invitee, Minji taps that one in to remain level par. Yeah, Hee-jung. Downhiller from right to left. Closing birdie in a 67. Seen that before. It's not dead center with perfect pace. They don't usually drop here at Bears Best. But a very solid opening round for Lim Hee-jung. 4 under par, 68. Leaves the Korean Women's Open champion only 2 back at the conclusion of day 1. Now, Suji at 17 for her birdie. I have this about a cup and a half outside the right edge. Just a fraction high for Suji. We'll talk about the internationals in the field this week. Vietnamese pro Yen Thao Mi, unfortunately recording a round of 81, one of the invitees this week to the prestigious Hana Financial Group Championship. Well, it was a terrific second shot into the 18. It's a really good look for Lee Ye-won to close with a birdie and to post a 67. And took a little wobble. Disappointing for Ye-won. Hard to be disappointed with a 68. Blemish on the card coming courtesy of a cold shank at the par 3 14th. Yeoju, this would certainly make dinner taste a little bit better for a par. A sandy par at that. Tough watch, bogey finish, no birdies in the round of Kim Hyo-joo. She signs for a 75 and has work to do tomorrow if she wants to make the halfway cut here at the Hana Financial Group Championship. Has not missed a cut on the KLPGA Tour in 7 years. Hyo-joo. Just a formality for Ye1. Well done. Solid opening round of golf from the teenager. She'll scribble her name next to a 68. Just a couple of groups left to complete their opening rounds here at Bears Best. The penultimate group waiting back in the fairway. Park Ji-young, Yoo Hae-ran, and the struggling Min-ji Lee. Hae-ran, you'd think this is, it's got to be a 4-iron, maybe even a 5-iron if she steps on it. For Big U. You did not want to fan one short right into that deep inside trap, and obviously the back left trap isn't much of a picnic either, so anything front left section of the green would be okay. Let's start at the flag. Has it got the legs? Yes, it does. Straight at the flagstick for Yoo Hae-ran at the last. She's certainly swinging with lots of confidence. And she's given herself a putt to tie the lead. Follow that one in, Ji-young and Min-ji. Brother Min-woo, a winner on the European Tour. Min-ji now a two-time major champion. Beat Jung-eun Lee 6 in a playoff at the Evian Championship last year. Emphatic performance to win the US Women's Open this year, route to leading the money list in America and the points list, the race to the CME Globe. Like fellow top 10 player in the Rolex Women's World Rankings, she's given herself quite a bit to do. 2 over par. Just peeling towards the left half of the green. Stay there. Okay. Well, not really in birdie range, but safely aboard for Min-ji Lee. Last to play, Park Ji-young is sneaky long. The 26-year-old. We've certainly seen that she can hang with the best of them when it comes to these clubs in her hands right now. Of course, that up below her feet, so it should help trying to slot a little fade into this closing hole. Blinded by the setting sun. Oh, just clears the bunker. Just about all right for Park Ji-young, and now gives herself a realistic look at another round in the 60s in 2022. She's already shot 32 rounds in the 60s so far this season. And the KLPGA stars outshining the higher ranked LPGA stars so far on day one. Ready to go on this 18th tee. talking to it. That's going to just finish in the secondary cut of rough. It's going to make that second shot a whole lot more challenging for a player who's only missed one cut
하겠습니다.
in 2022 so far. That came at the season opener. Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open on Jeju Island. Minji. Also level par.
오케이, 샷.
Confirmation from the caddy. It was a good shot. Good shot it is. Only player to successfully defend the title in 2022 so far. So as the shadows grow long over Bears Best in Cheongna, Hong Jung-min's lead at the top. Just one over a pair of players now. Bae Soo-yeon birdieing her final hole, the par 5 9th, to join Yoo Hae-ran at 5 under par. We'll see if Minji Lee can end what has been a rather poor Afternoon at the office on a high. Still got to be careful with this putt though. Easy to have this one slip away. Slightly down the hill. No, not high enough. Up and out of it quickly. She knew it. And like Kim Hyo-ju, she is going to sign for an over par opening round here at the Hana Financial Group Championship. Made the trek back from Arkansas after a miscut on the LPGA Tour last week and perhaps not quite settled in just yet back in South Korea. It wasn't too far of a trek for the likes of Park Ji-young and Yoo Hae-ran. Last week's event in Jeongwon, just about 2 hours drive away from Cheongna. We're about 10 kilometers outside of downtown Incheon, about 30 kilometers west of Seoul. And Hae-ran has this for a birdie and to tie Bong Jong-min's 66 in the clubhouse after 18 holes of play. She's got an idea of what this putt's going to do from Min-ji's putt. Snaps fairly hard in the first sort of half of the putt there, just peters out as it gets towards the hole. But you probably fancy making one out of every sort of 8-9 times. Doesn't look like she's allowing for enough break. Overread it. That was a curious one from Hae-ran. A solid par on the difficult 18th. And a really nice afternoon's work for Yoo Hae-ran. 5 under par round of 67. Not a drop shot on the card to leave her in a share of second at the end of play here on Thursday. Now for Park Ji-young, she's been robbed a couple of times on this back nine. Some really, really good putts that didn't go in. Got lucky with that second shot. Just cleared the bunker by about a yard. And now leaves herself with this really good uphill look for a birdie and a round of 69. Nope. That was low all the way from Park Ji-young. The scoring average this season on the KLPGA Tour has been 70.2. If you pop that one in, you should be right on that mark after one round. It's so easy to get frustrated when you hit the ball as good as Ji-young has and you only craft a round of 2 under par 70 out of it. Not saying that's a bad score, but it's easy to start getting in your head that you're not putting well when you're simply just not getting the breaks. Might be straight to the range after this for Min-ji Lee. Oh, could be to the putting green first. I mean, that is inexcusable. 75. Min-ji, the world number 4, joins the world number 9, Kim Hyo-ju, in a share of 80th at 3 over par. Many would have scripted that at the start of play this morning. A big disappointment from Min-ji, and really not what you want to see if you're Park Ji-young. This is almost identical length putt coming from the other side of the hole. Still should be slightly easier. Just a right inside putt. Oh no. Well, that's just going to compound the frustrations for Ji-young. A 3 putt from out of nowhere. to end her day. It was such a solid performance, and well, that's what happens when you let concentration slip for just a moment here at Bears Best. A bogey at the last and a round of 71. Yikes. Players left on the golf course. A single one of them under par. This side of the golf course anyway. Jaravi Bunchant finishing up on the 9th, not far away. She's 4 under. Songa, defending champion, will strike the first blow into this 18th. Very high in the air. It's on a similar line to Park Ji-young's. And okay, well, not terrible there. Tough D-lie. Bit of an upslope as well. She'll be the first to admit she hasn't had her sharpest stuff this afternoon. Neither has this lady, Park Min-ji. 2 under at the turn, now level par. Slightly below her feet coming into this closing par 4. Well, carries the bunker, but that really just sat down some of the heavy rough and should be landing on a downslope. Can't quite tell where that's ended up. Caddy certainly saw it. Suji, left rough. Saw her play a real gem earlier on. Awkward line, rough. Listen. Long way back. Skip it up, release out. She is pretty special from the rough, isn't she, Suji? That's excellent. Judged the lie perfectly. Got the flyer and a little bit of topspin. So a chance for someone in this final group to post an under par round. So much was expected of these final 3 players. Min-ji, the number 1 on the money list. Suji, a winner last week, 3-time titleist on tour, and Songa-eun, the defending champion, languishing at 1 over par. It really was a special performance, a special week for Songa-eun in her rookie season to take down one of the most coveted prizes on the KLPGA Tour. The playoff win over Min-ji Lee last year. Park Min-ji set the money earnings record last year with over 1.5 billion won banked already. Pocketed a cool billion with her 4 wins this year. Interesting to see who's going to be first to play here. Both Min-ji and Ga-eun off the green. It looks like Min-ji is going to have a crack. Can't quite tell what the line looks like. If that's sitting up, it's not. Yeah, if it's sitting up in the rough, it's certainly going to make this tricky shot slightly easier. But if it's nestled down, as we suspected might have, it's going to be sort of tumbling forward with no real green to work with. Well, Ga-eun's going to go first. Much simpler shot. Sitting up halfway in the rough. Pretty much take a standard pitch shot approach to this. Just land it so 2/3 of the way there and let it trickle out to the hole. Just like that. Well done. And the top 60 and ties make the halfway cut. Ga-eun be right on that mark right now at 1 over par. Now Min-ji, see if we can tell from her practice swings what kind of lie she has. Looking off a slight upslope, which will help get some elevation. That That's the problem. Just landing on that downslope, everything just runs away. She's played that well. It's a good 10 feet left. For a level bar round of 72. It'll take a brave man or woman to write off this lady. She can make birdies in bunches. Win from pretty much anywhere. On the front page of the leaderboard Sunday afternoon, she's been dominant. She's run away with a few championships. She's had to play catch up in a couple. Suji, she traditionally does. Prefers to putt with the flagstick in, so it feels like it gives her something to aim at. A target to see that ball nestle up against the flagstick and drop in. A gorgeous shot she played. That tough left rough. Reminiscent of that beautiful one she played into the 15th. Didn't hold the putt there. This is going to be for a round of 71. Kim Suji. Well done. Waited this time before she got the fist bump, but it was well worth it. A nice closing birdie for Kim Suji in a round of 71. Really battled well on that back nine, Suji. Stayed patient, which is always the key. 71, she'd take that. Golf is so much about momentum, playing in a group in these championships. You see time and time again, sometimes other players in your group get hot, it starts to pull you along with positive momentum, but we've seen in the case of these final three players this afternoon, sometimes if one starts to struggle, and two start to struggle, and all three are suddenly treading water. Big putt for Minji's confidence. This for a par. Just a right edge putt. And just one more lip out in what has been a really tough day on the greens. A bogey 5, an inward half of 39, and a 73 for Park Min-ji. Still not out of it, but behind the 8 ball early is the two-time major champion. Songka-eun with what we all hope will be the final stroke of this opening round at Bears Best. First season and a half, 2 seasons we can call it in the KLPGA Tour. She's usually been one of the more steady putters, permanent fixture in the top 10 on the putting stats category here in South Korea. Inside right edge putt for a par. Okay. Safely in. It's an up and down par at the last. A disappointing 73 to open her championship defense. She'll start Friday morning at 1 over par alongside Park Min-ji in a share of 51st. So everyone done and dusted for the day. Hong Jung-min feet up in the clubhouse. No one's catching her after that 7 birdie round of 66. Sees her lead by 1 over Yu Hei-ran and Bae So-yeon. Lee Won, the pole sitter on the Rookie of the Year points race, opening up with a 68. Guy Young chasing that first KLPGA Tour title. Open with a 69. Good solid round of 70 from Julie Kim. Patty Tavatanikit, not many finished better than her today. Birdie eagle for a round of 71 for the former LPGA major champion. Let's show you some highlights from the opening round here at Bears Best. We'll start with Hong Jung Min. Wasted no time getting off the mark. This, a birdie too, on the par 3 opening hole to get her round off and running. Jump ahead to the 5th, and Han Jin Seon, a winner at the Hai Wan Resorts Ladies Open from long range at the par 3. Got her to 2 under par for the day, courtesy of a pair of 2s early on. Lady who leads the KLPGA Tour points list at flag hunting at the opening hole. So very nearly a dream start for Heiran, but she'd settle for a birdie too. Year 1, just the par at the first, but she'd make it a pair of 3s to open this at the par 4 second. The lady who came runner-up to Kim Soo-ji last week in Jeongwon, off to the races with a birdie at this second hole. At the 12th, Lim Hee-jung was putting together a fine round of golf. 2 under par 34 outward half. Open her account on the inward half with that downhiller at the par 4. Hong Jung Min was putting the shine on a spectacular round of golf. This, a 7th birdie of the day to go along with a drop shot at the 8th. Good enough for the championship lead after day 1, a round of 66. At the very same hole, albeit a couple of hours later, Lim Hee-jung would roll that one in for her final birdie in what was a blemish-free round of 68. Not to be outdone, Yoo Hei-ran, she too was bogey-free 4 under to this point. Well, not for much longer. Went flag hunting with that 3rd shot and would convert for a 5th birdie and a round of 67. So that'll about do it for our coverage here on day 1 at the Hana Financial Group Championship. It's the 20-year-old Doosan match play champion Hong Jung Min who leads the way after her round of 66. Heiran and Suyeon nipping at her heels just a shot further back. We do hope you'll join us tomorrow, same time, same place, for more coverage from Bears Best.